Exploring your pipelines with CloudBees Pipeline Maps. Here's today's starting point. I have a CloudBees client controller version 2.452.1.2. Now, along with this version, we have a new release of CloudBees Pipeline Explorer. And what we have is a way to visualize our pipelines in addition to the standard way of just taking a look at the logs. Now, I did a previous video about how to use CloudBees Pipeline Explorer prior to the visualization being provided. The link to that video is down in the description. Now, before we take a look at the visualization, let's go ahead and take a look at the documentation. Again, this documentation is linked down in the description, and you'll see a link off to that video that you can watch at your own leisure. But you'll notice over here on the right-hand side, we have CloudBees Pipeline Map. And this gives us a map view of our pipeline that enables a quick and intuitive understanding of its entire structure at a glance. Now, let's go ahead and go take a look at the pipeline. The pipeline I'm using in this example is the exact same pipeline that I used in the other video. So if you haven't looked at that video yet, I would recommend go ahead and taking a look at that video first to understand the basics of CloudBees Pipeline Explorer. In this video, I'm going to be focusing on CloudBees Pipeline Maps. So let's go ahead and click into the job, and on my job run, I'm going to go ahead and go to CloudBees Pipeline Explorer. Now, as we can see here, it loaded up in the log view. So I could go ahead and expand out my job and see all of the different items that I have here. We can see that I have a couple of parallels, and I have nested branches, and I have nested branches within nested branches. And at least here I could get some idea of what the visualization would look like. But now, if I click on the map view, now what we can see is this whole pipeline is visualized within what we call a map. When we take a look at the map, we can see our start and end, and we can zoom in and zoom out. I'm using a mouse wheel, or you can click on the plus and minus. If for some reason I drag this off and I lose it completely off screen, I can click on this button and it will go ahead and bring it back center so I can see it. Now, if I wanted to take a look at the log section for branch A, I could click on branch A and notice what happens around the branch item. It zooms in and go ahead and highlights this branch. Now I could go ahead and click on the three buttons and I could go to the filtered log. But notice here that it's flipping me back over into the branch view. Let's say I don't want to do that. Well, what we can also do, we'll go back to map. What we can do is switch to our split view. And with the split view, we have the map in the top. I'll go ahead and zoom it back out, and I can see logs down in the bottom. So in this case, if I want to see the logs specifically for branch A, I can go to filtered log, and down in the bottom, it shows me the logs just for that stage. If I zoom back out, let's go ahead and go over to the nested view for C22. If I click on that, go to filtered log, then I can also see just C22 down in the log view. If I'm finished seeing the split view, I can go ahead and just go back to map. Also, one other thing I can do in order to maximize how I can see my map, I can click on this expander and it will take me almost out to full screen. Once I can do that, I can go back over to map and I can see exactly where my map is. Now, one other thing you might see here is I can see that C22 is highlighted. C22 is highlighted on the left, therefore it's highlighted on the right. If I click on my filter button here, it zooms me into that stage within my pipeline. Now, another thing I can do is I can search for certain filters. So if we'll go back into search for stage name, let's search for C1 and we'll hit enter. And what's going to happen is my map view is going to go ahead and slide over and highlight that branch that I just searched for. And if we decide, you know what, I'm finished looking at that, I can go ahead and zoom out. And from that point, if I want to go ahead and take a look at the rest of the Chrome that's around inside of CloudBees CI, I can go ahead and click on the upper right-hand corner, my minimize screen view, and that takes me back to the standard view within CloudBees CI. There are a number of other ways you can use Pipeline Map. I just showed you a few of the examples here. Take a look at the documentation and start playing with CloudBees Pipeline Maps. In order to use it, you must first upgrade to CloudBees CI 2.452.1.2. If you have any questions or comments, you can reach out to us on X @CloudBees. If this video was helpful to you, give us a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed to CloudBees TV yet, why not? Take a moment, click on that subscribe button, and then ring that bell, and you'll be notified anytime there's new content available on CloudBees TV. Thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next video.